Hello and welcome, Reds, to Anfield Road TV. If you are new around here, want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool related, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Drop a like on the video as well. And most importantly, please do let us know, every single Reds or just a neutral fan, in the comment section below, your thoughts on what we're going to discuss today. Obviously, it is probably, if you're watching this a couple of hours later anyway, the reoccurring thing really is Liverpool are bouncing from name to name in terms of the potential manager for next season. Anyway, obviously, Jurgen Klopp, big shoes to fill. But this afternoon, David Ornstein come out with like more or less a bombshell interview, really, giving his thoughts, and obviously very well respected in the sports and journalism scene. So when it comes down to football news, especially credible football news, David Ornstein is the best in the business, in my honest opinion. And he come out with an article today, straight at it as well. The link to David's article and the full depth of what he said is in the description, so please do check it out. Get involved in it on his article with a bit more detail anyway. But the crux of it, obviously exclusive, it's what he tweeted, he put on his social media accounts this afternoon. West Ham are in talks over ambitious move for Ruben Amorim if David Moyes goes. Julian Lopetegui also assessed, but Amorim current top target. West Ham United said to appeal, but unclear where they sit amongst the 39-year-old's options. And then he goes on to say Liverpool looks unlikely in relation to Amorim, which is quite interesting to say the least anyway. I'm disappointed because I think obviously we had talks. Everyone was speaking about a couple of months ago, would it be Alonso? And then he come out with his statements stating that he was going to stay for another year, and potentially we're all anticipating Alonso to go to Real Madrid in probably another year's time if he does go back-to-back in Bundesliga titles, or Alonso might stay at Leverkusen for a couple of years by this time, learn his craft even more and be a lot more successful in the Bundesliga, obviously Champions League football next year for Leverkusen. So it was then, and then obviously a couple of weeks did transpire over the last couple of weeks. It's, Ruben Amorim potentially looking like the leading candidate for Liverpool. And now we obviously got the news from David Ornstein. It still might happen. Amorim might come to Liverpool. You never know. We know with journalists, some of them are briefed in terms of certain football clubs and some of them are not as well. But I'm disappointed. So the question we'll ask you, if you are watching on the repeat or if you're watching live, is who now do Liverpool potentially do you think will turn to? There's a lot of names out there, a lot of names as we'll discuss in a little second, that when we see the names linking with Liverpool, we're like, oh, are they ready to make the big jump to Liverpool? I think for any top manager coming to Liverpool, post the Jurgen Klopp era, it's going to be difficult. It will be probably uncertain times for the football club because we don't know how. I certainly remember the times of Roy and obviously Brendan Rodgers, not too favourable, and obviously the little stint Kenny did come back to the football club. He certainly stabilised Liverpool at a time where it was extremely difficult. There was a lot of things off the pitch as well in terms, obviously FSG taking over. So it's one of them. But it's thing is, if it is uncertain times, that's when we need to get behind the football club. But FSG, the big conundrum in Liverpool's fan base, every Liverpool fan has got our concerns, whether they spend enough money. That's up to you. So every Liverpool fan's different views and opinions. But over the last couple of years with Jurgen Klopp, he struck gold, and he certainly did struck gold in terms of Jurgen Klopp. We serial winner in the Bundesliga, and what he's done for this football club since he's been in England has been absolutely nothing short of remarkable, considering the superpower in which Manchester City are and their qualities. But I made up he's won trophies, but everyone's smashing it in the comments, so we'll quickly go through a lot of the comments. Apologies, chat, if you are in the live chat and don't feature your comments, it's not intentional, but because obviously with this news story is going to be absolutely mental as well. But as Cop said, big up there, mates, and do get your comments in. More interesting what you have to think. It's going to be Jose, Cop. We'll get to Jose in a little second, mate, because we'll go to obviously a couple of names that have been linked, mate. But he's certainly got a CV that he's certainly got the best CV out there currently in terms of what he's won as a manager. But it's that baggage Jose would bring. With the experience, he would bring a reputation off the field in terms of how other football clubs, the clubs he's been at. Would he suit with the hierarchy at Liverpool? He certainly kick off on FSG saying, I want some money, and if you're not giving it, he'll come out in a press conference and come out with statements like he did. But you look at the statements that he made at Manchester United, everything he said a couple of years ago, he was bang on the money. And still, Manchester United haven't addressed those issues as well. An elite level manager, Jose, but it's whether it's not that he won't be able to win at Liverpool, but it's how us as a fan base would react and how we deal with the infrastructure at Liverpool as well. He certainly, if you looked at his CV, I know everyone goes at Roma and all that, but yeah, it's it would be difficult anyway. The speculation is doing my big up there, Neil. Yeah, it's doing my head in, mate. And the thing is, Neil and chat, I hate talking about this because I know Liverpool fans out there, and rightly so, will be going, stop talking about the manager when we've got Jurgen Klopp. I don't want to be doing shows like this. It's the off the field noise which hopefully won't distract from this current, hopefully potential title running. Well, not potential, we are in a title running. So obviously the players, the professional and the management and all that, but it's an important debate that needs to be had and important because give it another 6-7 weeks, Liverpool will finish this campaign. And obviously with the new sporting director coming in as well, he's got his names, but it's important because the future of Liverpool, how we deal in the next 2 to 3 year period will be very interesting. It is uncertain times, especially say if we go into the next 2-3 years, if all what Jurgen Klopp has built and this great side that he's built at Liverpool, if it was to take about 2-3 year, 4 year back step as well, that would be detrimental, not just in terms of on the field progression. It would be very much detrimental to the off the field progression that we've had in terms of the great revenue, Liverpool as well. And then it will be difficult, but chat, let us know. You keep on getting your comments in. The Red Machine, everyone's going with Jose. He's got the CV. He's and I've always said for years, I think all of us, when you look at Jose, he'd never publicly say it, but if you asked him, he's a big admirer of Liverpool. I know everyone will bring up the comments in which he's made when he was a Chelsea manager and other managers, but when you're in the dugout, we've all watched managers, the legendary managers. You do say stupid stuff, and you're in the trenches really in terms of Jose protecting his team as well. But it is mad. I don't want Jose, but if you're looking at a CV, he's probably got the best CV currently in European football in terms of what he's won. Obviously in the stands yesterday, could that be a clue? It could not be. It could be just Jose just watching a good game of football. Obviously, he does live in London still. I think so anyway. He's got probably all that money with the sacking, all the money that he's been sacked over the years. Certainly managers have got. He's certainly got a pretty penny anyway. No better advertisement from the club right now as well, Mark. Yeah, it's a big appointment, Mark, and rightfully so. Every Liverpool fan should be talking about it. So who's going to end up with? I can't barely believe it hasn't been sorted already. Klopp told FSG in November, didn't he? It did. Panelfi did. But that's why the big money men at Liverpool, in terms of that's why we're appointing the sporting director and everything. As Andrew said there, if it is Mourinho, we are effed as well. Yeah, I'd agree, mate. But if it was the Jose that we were bringing in terms of what he done with that Inter Milan side, if it was prime Jose at Chelsea, then we'd all be sound. But it's the clubs in which he's managed over the last 5-10 year period. Obviously, that spell at Tottenham was absolutely crazy in terms of it didn't work. But saying that, Tottenham have brought in Conte, you've brought in Mourinho. It could just be the Tottenham DNA that they haven't got a Scooby-Doo how to run a football club and they're not serial winners. So if you put Jose in a winning environment in terms of give him the squad at Liverpool, could he do the job? Probably certainly could. But would it be a long-term success? Because you look at Real Madrid as well, chat. Real Madrid have got a history of sacking managers, but they've certainly got a history of winning European Cups, their league titles as well over the last, in their football club as a history as well. So it is the modern way of doing things as a football club. But obviously, there's that tradition really that comes with Liverpool that we like to give managers time. But do Liverpool break the tradition? And then, but it's difficult as well. But that's mainly why I want to ask you chat as well. Big up there, Miss Bellina. Obviously, big up, mate. Hope you're well. At Theory, Jose comes in, short-term deal. Then Alonso comes in. Interesting, that, Dave. So, as I just said there, the possible 2-3 year stint for Jose. And then when Alonso, long-term, decides to leave Leverkusen. But I think if that time did come, Dave, I think the club he would go, Xabi Alonso, post-Leverkusen, would be Real Madrid. The Liverpool job will always be there for Xabi Alonso. As I've just said, with Real Madrid, they do tend to sack managers, because if Alonso did have a bad 2 years at Real Madrid, I don't think they'll sit on the hands, Real Madrid, Perez and the boards there. So it's the thing. I don't think Alonso's in a rush to manage Liverpool, because they'll always have that option as well. Making sure we go there. My mate had a brand new 5 Series. It was runs its course as well, 100%. Can't stand Jose though, Jack. Yeah, he's a character. He's one of the biggest characters in European football. He certainly as well, but he needs a name to show the fans will support as well. I'm fed up and sick with Liverpool big time. Big up there, Jordan, as well. So obviously the big, as there's a name mentioned there, rather have. So now, obviously, if you are watching on the repeat as well, just the next final closing segments, and please do let us know your thoughts. So the big question, obviously, will be in a 5-6 weeks time anyway, who would be the new manager? Chat, if you're on the live or if you are watching the repeat, please do let us know. Gerrard, we'll start with Steven Gerrard. Me personally, I don't want Stevie G to manage Liverpool if he was appointed. If it was leading, I think if every Liverpool fan was leading with the heart instead of the head, but it should be the other way around. Gerrard being Liverpool manager is the thing of dreams. But when you come to the realm of reality, his stint at Villa was absolutely horrendous. Look at the job Unai Emery's doing with a very similar squad, obviously with 1 or 2 added additions. Gerrard was shocking for Villa. His time at Rangers was all well and good. Broke the dominance display of, obviously, Celtic. I would have liked Gerrard to have stayed at Rangers for a couple of years, got European football, like Champions League on a regular thing, and then obviously develop his coaching philosophy. But now, obviously, he's in Saudi. He's not doing the greatest anyway. If he was to come into Liverpool and it went bad, like in terms of him missing out on Champions League football for 2-3 years successfully, that would massively damage the football club, as I said at the top of the show, in terms of just financials. But in course, yeah, of course, that wasn't intentional. But in terms of recouping players to the football club as well, in terms of obviously attracting players, because that's the one thing that Liverpool did struggle in terms of Rodgers' time as well. But when you've got a manager of Jurgen Klopp, he's very renowned. He's probably, if it asked every single footballer in European football, if you could pick a manager who you want to play for, they'd all say either Pep Guardiola, or they'd certainly say Jurgen Klopp as well. Would players come to Liverpool not just for Liverpool, but they come for the manager, they come for the accolades of playing for a club like Liverpool and the manager as well? Well, for me, if I was thinking in my head, I'd say no to Gerrard. I think all of us would. If I was speaking from my heart, I'd be all over Gerrard potentially coming to Liverpool just for the storyline. But yeah, no, for what he's done at Villa. But when is the right time for Steven Gerrard to take over, Chess? I do ask you that as well if you are watching on the repeat. When is the right time for Steven Gerrard? Would you, as a fan, want him to go to another Premier League side or another top side in European football, and then he develops his game for 2-3 years and then improves and potentially wins a lot more titles for that club? But it's difficult. So for me, Gerrard, no. Jose Mourinho, straight into there. As I said before, his characteristics really are just crazy in itself. Serial winner in terms of his CV and managers that are available. He's got the best CV. He's got the best trophy haul of any manager currently out of the game. it's no, we all know what he's done in football for the last 20 years. The back end of the last 5-10 year period in terms of his management has been extremely difficult. I think he struggled to very much come to a different way of thinking in terms of how football has changed. Could he still win an elite side that has got elite players? I think so. But would that be at Liverpool? Would be interesting to say the least. De Zerbi, the big one, and I've said for weeks off air to the lads as well, there has been certain reports over the last couple of months saying that De Zerbi's been nailed on. Like, it has been nailed on that De Zerbi will be manager at Liverpool for the last couple of months as well. But as is his side season in terms of Brighton, they've struggled. Obviously, coincided with a lot of injuries for Brighton. In terms of the data people, data fans out there as well, they'll be all over De Zerbi in terms of the data people when he analyse the data, what he's done in the game as well. Very highly regarded. Only have to listen to Pep Guardiola speak about De Zerbi and how impressed he's been by obviously the Italians' impact on the game at an early stage in his management career. Would he sink or would he swim at Liverpool? Would be interesting, but I don't think that would suffice you as a Liverpool fan or whatnot. It would be interesting. So he's probably one of the best data managers out there. He's young, but the thing is, when you analyse De Zerbi's time, not just this season, but when you do analyse managers that are not in a top 6 team, you look at obviously Poch at Southampton, always got his best players robbed from him at Southampton. And they got decimated, all their best players. Because you look back on that Southampton team years ago when Poch was manager, one of the, if you went 5 years ahead of that, they probably would have easily been consistently, and they kept all their top talents, probably would have been a consistent top 4 side. But as is the world of football, no player stays at a club, and especially if you're at a club that's not really ambitious in terms of being consistent. But at Brighton, De Zerbi, and even Potter to an extent before that as well, you're at a club like Brighton, who are the best run football club in European football. In terms of their every department, it's second to none in terms of the data, the recruitment, everything. And if De Zerbi was to come to Liverpool or he left Brighton, they'd still then get the next De Zerbi. Like, it's mad. It is honestly mad how well run they are. He's at a club like Brighton who always get their best players. McAllister, you only have to watch Brighton this season. Watch him for Liverpool, how important he's been. Saicedo hasn't worked at Chelsea, but he's a highly talented player. And the list is endless, the top talented players that Brighton have lost over the last couple of seasons as well. So it is going to be difficult. I think you'll only find with De Zerbi when he's eventually at a top club, whether that be Liverpool or another top side in European football, you'll find out what he's made of, because he could sink or he could swim and win every single league title known to man. Anyway, but we'll only find that in the next couple of seasons. Could he do it at Liverpool? He could, but it's a very risky appointment for me. Well, not risky, because when you look at the data and what he's done for the game, I think he'd certainly do a job at Liverpool. Would you as a fan be happy with that? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. There's other name, and I know chat have been mentioning it on plenty of shows as well. Do I want Thomas Tuchel at the football club? No. Would he probably be on a list of potential candidates to Liverpool? Possibly, yes. There's probably other managers out there that I'm thinking potentially might be linked to chat. But it's going to be difficult. Whoever does come in to replace a manager like Jurgen Klopp is basically neon impossible, really. It's an impossible job, but whoever does come in has to hit the ground running, because the expectations of us fans, but as Liverpool fans, we're intelligent enough in terms of when a new manager comes in, we're going to, of course, give them time. And if you're not going to give a manager time, like, what's the point of being a supporter anyway? New ideas, fresh impetus, really, new tactics, new players coming in, potential players going out the football club as well. So it's going to be a big next 6 months for the football club. Very big, and as we know. But But as Panel said, with Jose, we will have to trust Michael Edwards from Matthias 100%, mate. That's that they take the time to find out what's right for their club. Better than that, than to jump to conclusions as well. 100% there, Matthias. 100%, mate. Arne Slot has suddenly become the important name as well. Obviously, the Feyenoord manager, another name on the supposed supposed manager list for Liverpool as well. Don't know a lot about him, mate. I know he's won Eredivisie title, but other than that, obviously, I think he does play a 4-3-3 formation. So, kind of, but will be interesting. It's going to have to be a name that will get a big opportunity. A bit like Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. As I said, Tottenham haven't got a history of winning, but Ange Postecoglou, in terms of him winning within football, he's won. But you look at Chelsea, like Tottenham, like they've had Conte, they had Mourinho, they've won Premier League titles, they're serial winners, both of those names, and they just couldn't get it right at Tottenham. But that is Tottenham. So it is, if it is a manager that's young in the game, or young in terms of managing big clubs on their CV, but I just don't want another Brendan Rodgers chat, because as we spoke about this week, Rodgers is the best David Brent impersonator. Sorry, no, he sold a dream. By all accounts, if you listen to all the journos and people within the game, when Rodgers was interviewed by FSG, they were absolutely blown away by how professional he was. So he's very good at presenting PowerPoints by all accounts. But when it comes to managing football clubs, not the best as well. So one of them. Just look at the poor job he's doing at Celtic as well. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But Gerrard has links to the players. He does, Mark. And the thing is, as I said before, Gerrard in the dressing room, if you're getting coached, but are probably a bit similar with Zidane in Real Madrid. Like there's managers out there like Zidane. He is Mr. Real Madrid. He was renowned in the game. He's the French football and icon as well. But like Gerrard would have that order. But I think that order waned when he was at time at Aston Villa, because you can have a certain order as a manager, but when it comes down to it, from a tactical aspect, I think Gerrard struggle. Like it'd certainly get the demand the respect as well. But when it comes down to it, like the most important thing of any manager is who you have in your backroom staff, his own approach in terms of tactics as well. He did struggle at Villa. Could he do it at Liverpool? He could, but I don't want to see that be the like. It'd absolutely destroy every Liverpool fan to see Gerrard struggle managing Liverpool, because since he's retired as a footballer, like Gerrard, you'd hoped that the day would eventually come for Stevie. When that will be, we'll find out next couple of years, 5-10 years, and when the right time is. But you look at De Rossi as well. I think the impact he's had, if you're not seeing Roma this season as well, he's been absolutely amazing for them. He's a Roma legend. He's Mr. Roma himself. He's come in there and he's had an instant impact in terms of the longevity in Daniel De Rossi's career as a manager at Roma. Will that continue? Or is it a new manager bounce or whatnot? Because we'll find out De Rossi in the next 2-3 years whether they will be competing for Serie A titles. If they did, then certainly he's gone above and beyond what their wildest dreams anyway. Obviously, I think they're in the top 5 and they're in a Champions League spot now, Roma, which is all well and good considering where they were struggling. But yeah, obviously post Jose Mourinho as well, De Rossi following Jose. So it is one of them. Yeah, Jordan, I'll sort them out this week, mate. Obviously, I tend to just give mods to obviously people that are a bit more consistent in the channel, mate, and obviously the usual names that are mods in the channel that are there, then I can trust them a lot more as well. But certainly if you keep on being bit consistent in the comments, mate, you're more than welcome. I'll set you as a mod, mate. Let's grab Emre Andrew. Oh, here's another name as well. I think who was it that was saying this week that potentially being linked with Emre? Who am I thinking? Bayern? Yeah, that was it. I think I've seen a couple of articles from very well-respected journalists this week. Villa fans won't be happy, but Unai Emery, he's done an absolute stellar job. If he can get top 4 with Aston Villa with that squad, he's amazing. I still think Arsenal got rid of Unai Emery far too quick in his tenure at Arsenal, but as is the modern football fan in 2024, like all of us, every football fan up and down the country, whatever club you manage, we're all impatient. But yeah, he's a very good manager, Andrew. Could he do a job at Liverpool? Only time would tell, but he'd certainly be one on the radar. Would be very interesting to watch Amorim become the new manager at West Ham, who would really have to step up the interest. We would have to step up the interest. But as you can see there, obviously, Matthias, everyone just tuning in now. Obviously, we're just relaying the article that has come out today. David Ornstein, West Ham are in talks over ambitious move for Ruben Amorim to if David Moyes does go. Obviously, David Moyes has got a contract on the table, but I think the whole West Ham fan base is very split on David Moyes, whether he should give him a new deal or whether he should sign that new deal as well, or if David Moyes just packs up and leaves as well. There's something in the back of mind saying David Moyes will eventually end up at Everton at the end of this season. I think he will go to Everton, David Moyes, as well. So West Ham set to appeal, but unclear where they sit amongst the 39-year-olds options. And then David Ornstein adds, Liverpool with Amorim looks unlikely as well. So anyone just tuning in, that's what we're talking about as well. So interesting times ahead for everyone as well. Gary or Xavi, that will be an interesting name, mate. Obviously did win the La Liga. I think it was in his first season for Barcelona. I'm very surprised that they were looking to get rid of him this season. Obviously, he's done an absolutely outstanding job this season in the Champions League. If it wasn't for Arejo getting sent off in the second leg, I think Barcelona would have progressed to the semi-final of the Champions League ahead of PSG. Obviously, with that red card, it all changed. But yeah, Xavi speaks English, like very good English as well. He's a student of the game, one of the best central midfielders football has ever seen. He's what a player, by the way. One of my favourite midfielders of all time. But yeah, so another name potentially, whether he'd come to the Premier League. I think he'd like to come to the Premier League. Would he do well? Could do. You look at, obviously, the amount of great Spanish managers out there currently. Obviously, the best one in world football in Pep Guardiola currently. Mikel Arteta as well. And there's probably a load of lists of managers. Xabi Alonso as well. So it is the Spanish managers currently applying the trade in European football and in the Premier League as well is at an all-time high in terms of their stock as well. And it's no luck by any chance that the Spanish players, Spanish managers as well, are some of the best in the game as well, because they really understand and analyze game of football in general extremely well. But could be a name, mate. Matthias, but Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and possible Man United still in the race for a new manager. That's the thing, Matthias, as well. You'd like to hope Liverpool with the data guys get it sorted, and there might be a manager out there that we've not actually analysed and seen and went, oh, could go after that as well. But having someone for 3 years and then bringing Gerrard in makes no sense as well. 100%, Mark. As I said at the top of the show, with Liverpool, we tend to give managers time. With Jurgen, we give him plenty of time, and he certainly did deliver. Everyone goes about Rodgers as well, but Rodgers, you looked at his football, you looked at the players that he was bringing in, was absolutely ridiculous, shocking players as well. But with Klopp, there was a year-on-year progression. Every Liverpool fan could see, watching Liverpool season after season, that we could see an identity. Obviously, heavy metal football was the name of the game when Klopp come in, but he really tinkered with that as the season progressed, and we got gradually even more better, and we've seen what he's won at Liverpool over the last couple of seasons as well, mate. So interesting. He didn't work with Souness, I feel the same with Gerrard, unfortunately. Yeah, it's the thing, John, innit? Like a big name legend of the football club. Gerrard is the biggest, well, him and Kenny are the two biggest players to ever play for this football club and probably ever will be. But Steven Gerrard, it's every Liverpool fan's dream to see him manage Liverpool. And could it be a fairy tale ending? But sometimes fairy tales aren't real anyway. But Gerrard, could he win serial Premier Leagues as a manager? Maybe. But only time will say. So, Ezekiel, big up there, mate. I'll take him. Who, mates? Let us know. Thiago Motta, also a name at the bookies candidate as well. I think he's managing Bologna as well. If you've not checked out his Bologna side, I think it is. In Serie A, he's got one of the maddest formations in world football. I think he plays it something like a 2-2-2-2, something mad. But it works. Obviously, they're vying for the European spot as well. I feel too much like a bit. Yeah, big up there, lad. What's your thoughts on? I'm surprised Rafa's name hasn't been. Oh, Pranov. He's done a stellar job at Everton. Yeah, no, I don't think Rafa would ever come back to Liverpool, mate, sadly. Arne Slot was asked about the Tottenham manager's job, but turned them down to continue to managing Feyenoord. Worth noting that he was a prime candidate before Tottenham turned their attention as well. So, yeah, it's mad how, obviously, us fans, obviously, there's data fans out there that tend to dive into a lot more data than certainly me or the average football fan as well. But, yeah, that's why, as we said, the people running the football club, and I forgot to mention as well, sorry, Chas, there was with De Zerbi, obviously with Hughes, our new sporting director, the Bournemouth manager. This is interesting to take note, is their prime target and their ambitious appointment at the time when he was sporting director was De Zerbi, no other than De Zerbi. That's who Bournemouth wanted to bring in prior to his move to Brighton all those years ago as well. So it's going to be one of them. Could it be that De Zerbi comes to Liverpool with our new future sporting director? Does he still, Mark Hughes, still Liverpool's new sporting director, favour De Zerbi? And if that's the case, then we exactly know who the main man is going to be, potentially. If could be more or less just be De Zerbi as well. But time will tell. Generally shocked that it won't be Amorim. Leaves Tuchel, De Zerbi, Schlotz, Zidane and Motta as well. Big up there, Ollie as well. And if you are new around here as well, chat, smash a like. Really just help out the video as well for any potential future people to find the channel as well. We're live most nights as well. We are live at 7 p.m. tonight as well. Speaking about, obviously, the Everton game on Wednesday. We'll have an opposition fan coming on, Tom, which will be very good. Obviously, speaking of Tom, that he'll be on speaking all things Everton as well. Behave, Con. Yeah, it must have been told that if he has leaving too. What's your thoughts on Graham Potter for the next? I'll just ask a Mark. For me, not Graham Potter, mate. I'd like to see Graham Potter go to another club in European football, certainly a club like Nice as well. Obviously, with Ineos, obviously the owners of Nice. That's why I think they've kind of linked him with the. But yeah, I think he's still buzzing that he's living off the millions that Chelsea give him as well. And fair play to the lads, he's worked hard in the game. But certainly, I wouldn't. I'd like to see potentially Graham Potter potentially be manager of England. Maybe. Not that I'm asked about England anyway, but yeah. Ornstein always said that before anyway. It won't be De Zerbi, and he's 99% of the time. I'm kind of leaning towards Tuchel now, to be honest. Easy. With Tuchel, it's the name when we all discuss as like just Liverpool fans as well, or just football fans in general. It's one of them names where everyone goes like grimaces and goes, "Ooh, I don't really like." But he's a talented manager. I say it didn't work at Chelsea. He won the Champions League there. But as is the case, I think when you look at the portfolio of managers Chelsea have had, especially in the Roman Abramovich era as well, when you had, obviously, the list is endless, like Mourinho, that time, prime. But the thing is, Chelsea, I think they've been the most successful club since the turn of the century as well. So it's mad. But that's the thing. That's at Chelsea Football Club, you've got a habit of sacking managers, but Chelsea fans would go, yes, we've got a habit of sacking managers, but they were successful managers. They'd win, did win with Conte, Mourinho, and the list is endless as well, but it's one of them. There was only real Amorim and Alonso for me. It's the thing, Mark, the main two ones, as Gerson, big up there, mate. I prefer Gerrard rather than De Zerbi and Mourinho as well. Chat, the final closing point as well, as you've already alluded to. When would be not that we'd like Steven Gerrard to take over, but if the time did come for you as a fan, when would the time be appropriate for you for Gerrard to take over? As I said before, I don't want Gerrard to take over post Jurgen Klopp, just in case it went all absolutely south. And but let us know your thoughts in the comment section below as well, Reds. But I muchly really do. Yeah, Charlie, give us a tea lady. A couple of bickies as well. Chat, a massive thank you for everyone that has tuned in. If you're watching on the repeat, please do let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're new around here, we do go live most evenings as well. Hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date on all things Liverpool, whether that be news, transfers, post-match, pre-match shows as well. You're absolute legends. Great to see a load of new names in here. And, of course, the regulars as well. But, like I say, a massive thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Let me know all your thoughts as well, chat. There's going to be fierce debate. We'll do plenty of shows this coming week as well, as more news hopefully comes out a bit more and a bit more, hopefully a bit more clarity, really, in relation to the potential new manager at Liverpool in the long term. But, chat, have a lovely rest of your Monday afternoon. But please do get involved in the comment section below as well. But Reds, we'll be live again tonight at 7 p.m. for the Everton build-up show, opposition fan build-up show as well. But Reds, you never walk alone, and see you in a bit. Ta-da.